Hey, welcome to. Oh man, I forgot.
He's running on too much caffeine.
Too much caffeine. Hey, welcome to the Doc Analyzes Anything. Oh, you're gonna sniff during that?
Sorry.
Hey, welcome to the Doc Analyzes Anything, the show where science and psychology meet. We analyze human behavior, any behavior, including, and I just read the first one, guys. So, standing completely still on a busy sidewalk while slowly rotating a single banana in both hands.
Like you're just rotating it.
I mean, yeah,
what do
A
you think
single
that goes?
banana.
I feel like this.
Not a bushel.
I feel like this would be like a poor AI, like just watching it rotate in the hands, but like you're not actually moving because they don't understand how humans work. That's what I see. Or
Yeah.
are you rotating it like? How would it rotate going hand to hand?
Like a Harlem Globetrotter, like you're spinning it on your finger.
That'd be pretty cool. I'd be
using
impressed.
both hands, so you're spinning it with the other one.
Yeah. Yes. But it also said standing completely still, so you're not walking. This isn't like you're not doing this for anybody but yourself, I don't think. In this,
I think this is building yourself to be a legend amongst the community, and you'll be known.
There goes Kyle.
I don't think I could do that. I was decent at spinning a basketball. I could actually like use the momentum and spin like a folder or like a 3-ring binder when I was younger. But you had to be offset and like really get some grip on your finger because you needed to like really wiggle it around there, and it couldn't just be. It wasn't just spinning in the middle. You know what I mean?
Were you ever a sign guy, like out in front of the cell phone stores?
But I knew a guy from undergrad who did that, and it seemed like he was pretty hype about it. But
I mean, I've watched dudes do like backflips doing that.
That's something that's probably been on the Ocho, and if it hasn't, it should.
I'm pretty sure it has, and I'm sad that the Ocho Day, like, it's usually August 8th, and that was a Saturday this year, so I didn't even get to have it on in the background while working, and like that's one of my favorite days of the year while working is just watching ridiculous non-sports while I'm having to pretend to do things.
Truly thought that was only like what is it? What movie? What movie is that from?
Was it Transformers or Dodgeball? Okay.
Jason Bateman as the.
No,
Dodgeball would be like a legitimate sport that I think you could. There's a niche thing, and it doesn't need to be on the Ocho.
Yeah, but in the movie, the Ocho is what broadcasts the tournament.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No. The Ocho is a once a year. Sometimes they play reruns a lot, but forever has been like once a year. Ridiculous things like belt sander racing, mullet competitions. There's one, I guess it's a real thing that they do where like throwing the football off the roof, and you have to like what it bounces off without going over the back and then rolls back to you. And then if you catch it, like there's different scoring and stuff like that. Slippery stairs where they just lube up a bunch of stairs and then people try to climb to the top.
I like the rock skipping. That one's fun. And then the rototiller racing.
Yeah.
The concept of ESPN 8 The Ocho originated as a fictional television channel in the 2004 film Dodgeball.
So they just went with it from there, huh?
Starting August 8, 2017, ESPN paid homage to its portrayal in Dodgeball by airing a day-long ESPN 8 The Ocho marathon.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking like professional pogo sticking here.
Yeah.
Like, that one was cool.
Yeah. So, cool. I mean, they were doing real flips and like stuff that you'd see with skateboards and stuff, but on a pogo stick.
I want to know how much those pogo sticks are because they get really high.
We were all right.
I think you have to be really high to do that professionally. So there you go.
How many jumps do you think you guys could do in a row on a pogo stick right now?
I think my face would hit the ground at 3. Like I would be falling the whole time, but I could get 3 bounces until my face hit the floor.
For the last several years, I've done a competitive pogo sticking competition with a neighbor. Every summer, we get the pogo stick and we see how many jumps until the person falls. We did not do it this year. But I've won pretty much every year. So Kristen, if you're listening, this is my smack talk. I've gotten over 100 jumps before falling.
Well, and if you're not, how dare you? But also, that is not. That is. I don't know.
It's awesome,
you're just seeing how many jumps you can do. These people are going up ramps and jumping off walls and doing flips and stuff.
That wasn't the question, though. Dr. Meow Meow asked how many jumps
you called it professional pogo sticking, and I'm telling you that is something completely different.
I didn't say it was professional. I do enter a self-induced competition, though.
You just said you and your friend have a professional pogo sticking competition.
Friend, neighbor.
Oh.
Maybe I meant annual. Okay. Did I say professional, really?
Annual. Today, we're going to talk about snake oil.
Woo!
But you weren't kidding.
History of what's really going on here. So to you, when you hear snake oil, what do you think?
Never heard
you
of it.
Call on one of us. You never heard of snake oil, Brad? This is like your department. It's an animal.
No, I have another one that popped right into my head that it's like I see it on social media and it really frustrates me. But I'll get into that as a fad thing, or I'll get into it.
All right.
Enlighten me. What's snake oil?
Kyle, what do you think of when you hear snake oil?
I think this would be important because I think, Brad, you might be on to what you might know what the definition is based on what you just said. Snake oil is it's like an allegory to like any sort of like fad cure-all or like some sort of like some substance or chemical compound or something that cures what ails you. I picture like the door-to-door like salesman in like the early like 20s, like walking around, like setting up shop outside and drumming up business with like a cane and a top hat on. That's kind of what I'm picking up.
So
on.
So Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite with his plastic bowls.
I don't remember the bowls.
I don't remember that.
I remember Rico. I don't remember the bowls.
Yeah, it was like him and Kip started selling bowls to make some money. And
is it like Tupperware?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. All right. Tupperware, I probably would have followed you on. But regardless, the fact that it is not like scientifically or medically supported is like the big thing with most of these things, I think.
Yes.
The reason I asked, though, is when I did a search, and of course I didn't write down the source, so I'm just a horrible scientist at this point. But the definition I first saw said it was someone's purposely misleading people to make money off of a product. Yeah. And I'd never...
Really?
I didn't think of it needing to be purposeful. And this will be important later because some of the examples that we talk about, like I think the people truly believe in their product. It's just there's no reason for the rest of society to believe in their product, that sort of thing.
Like very common amongst a lot of diet things, right?
Or a lot of pyramid schemes. I know this will upset some people because a lot of people believe in it, but the healing power of crystals, there's just no scientific, support of it, but I think the people selling those really believe they're helping people. They're not purposely trying to mislead someone. And so
how do you quantify cosmic energy, Steve? You can't.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, I'm sure there is literally a way to measure cosmic energy, if that's what you mean. Like
cosmic, not comic energy.
I heard him say it too.
Cosmic, like from the cosmos, from outer space.
Comic. Sorry, we're just stating.
Regardless, there are many ways to measure all kinds of energy, and I'm sure there's a very simple way, a measure for measuring things in outer space. I know that's not what you meant literally,
that's radiation.
But that is
right.
That's called Chernobyl.
I don't know. It's like probably measured in Spocks or something. No, I'm trying to remember because I actually knew this, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'm talking about like crystal energy, or
I
like
know what you're trying to say.
Purported crystal energy.
I'm trying to make you feel ridiculous by using the word cosmic is what I'm trying to do.
But the moral of your story is this energy doesn't actually exist, and therefore it wouldn't be measurable because there's nothing to measure.
The limit does not exist.
Correct. Or
dividing by zero.
If we're trying to
in the movie, Steve.
What did you say?
The limit does not exist, and then Kyle said
dividing by zero.
I don't remember.
Uncultured. Pull the movie from the rack. This is your weekly poll. Do you have it?
Is it the Matt Damon? What's it called?
We are on two different movies then. It sounds like, are you going for Good Will Hunting?
Yes.
I was not.
No, Meow Meow's obviously talking about some silly...
What movie?
Comedy. What are you talking about?
Talking about Mean Girls.
Oh. I probably watched that with a lady and paid very little attention to what was going on in the movie.
Now that you've said that, I remember the scene. This is what's her name? Amanda Bynes, Lindsay Lohan saying the limit does not exist, right? Because she's on the math bowl team.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Do you have it?
No. Actually,
right,
I'm pretty sure I just gave it to Goodwill.
Interesting, completely an aside here, but the fact that you did Amanda Bynes to Lindsay Lohan because of the continuum of like the trajectories that their careers were on, like so similar, like that's just a interesting what's the word I'm looking for? The
stimulus overgeneralization.
Yeah, it was stimulus generalization in general.
Yeah.
Stimulus control is kind of where I was going with there, even though it is a generalization. So, all right, back to snake oil. You guys keep derailing me here and cosmic energies. I want to be careful, just like we always say, there's no evidence to believe. I don't think that crystals have any magical powers, but who knows? Maybe we just haven't studied enough as a science and they are actually vibrating at some frequency that cures something, and we'll figure that out in 2,000 years, and then we'll all be made fun of at that point. So let's say 98.9% sure it's not effective. Not that we can say with a certainty. All right, we'll give them a little bit of leeway there.
When I visit Mount Shasta out in Oregon, I got family out there. It's crystal shop after crystal shop, like just mined from the mountains, sold to heal. I'm pretty sure they just kind of heal everything: headaches, other ailments besides headaches, and
so,
I don't know.
Driving out west with my parents when I was like 9, I think, took a motorhome all the way to Idaho and back from Metro Detroit, and went through a lot of like Native American places, like to see the culture, to see the different stories, that sort of thing. And I bought a knife that was supposedly crystals that had been struck by lightning, and that was the blade. And I did not do it because of any magical powers, but just because I thought it was cool. And now thinking about it, I have not seen that thing in like 30 years, and I wonder if it still exists. Like, it was just wrapped up in a shirt in my drawer, and that drawer probably does not exist anymore. So I wonder what happened to it.
It might be sending you positive vibes from wherever it's at,
or negative because I neglected it.
Yeah.
I feel, I don't know.
Your
anyways,
fingerprints are on it, so if it's used as a weapon somewhere, they're gonna come for you.
I feel like if they use this as a weapon, it would be very obvious. First of all, that like my 9-year-old fingerprints are on it. Like, they're probably still not there, but if they are, they'd be like, oh, we gotta search for a 9-year-old somewhere, like this little kid handprints. But second of all, I don't know how functional it was actually as a weapon. You know what I mean? It was chipped away. It looked nice, and it was just like a rock that was chipped away at, and I'm sure there's much more functional knives for murdering people at this point. So, are you aware though that snake oil was a real product, and that's why we refer to BS things as snake oil?
I did know this. Yes.
I can't assume Miyama would, because he didn't know what we were even saying or referring to as snake oil, or did you, and you just misunderstood the question?
No, I had never heard of it. When did it first come to be?
So, according to history.com, which you'd think would be a pretty good source, except the History Channel now has nothing but aliens, and so I don't know if I can actually trust them or not.
It's true. It's a lot of aliens.
But it was used by people in China. It was the Chinese water snake this oil was taken from, and full of omega-3 fatty acids. So it really was, helping them with some inflammation and different things potentially. And it was brought here in the 1800s by the Chinese immigrants who were working on the railroads. And so after a long day of working, obviously you're going to be sore, maybe some arthritis going on, and they'd use snake oil, and potentially it had some actual effects there. But then came along Mr. Clark Stanley, who also went by the Rattlesnake King.
That's such a grifter name too.
Yeah. And he was a cowboy who claimed to have studied under a medicine man who taught him the healing power of snake oil.
The medicine man.
Yeah, where it really became popularized was he set up shop at the 1893 World's Fair, where in front of the crowd he cut like a rattlesnake in half, squeezed out some juice, put it in a bottle, and claimed that's what he was selling as a cure-all, a magic cure. And the funny thing is, what he was actually selling, like the FDA later tested, because the FDA, I guess, like according to this story, was developed to test the claims of some of these cure-all things that were being sold back in those days. And so there wasn't actually any snake product in it at all, but he was just selling this tonic that was supposedly snake oil that was going to cure anything and everything wrong with you. And
the magic of a placebo.
Yeah. And it like went around where others started selling knockoffs, which probably also weren't actually snake oil, but everybody believes snake oil actually helped. And if they would have just used it like the omega-3 fatty acids, like the fish oils and stuff like that people take as supplements now, it may have had some helpful benefits, but it was not curing all that ails you like they talked about. So
it was made, I'm just reading about him a little bit, it's made of mineral oil, compound from beef, chili peppers, and turpentine.
I'm sure turpentine is just great for you.
When found out to be a fraud, he was fined $20.
There you
His
go.
life is over.
Interestingly, there's another example of the same sort of thing going on around that time. Same place, Chicago World's Fair. Are you familiar with H.H. Holmes, the serial killer doctor that created a murder castle a few blocks away from the world's World's Fair, and
a murder castle?
We'll probably do a whole episode on this at some point, just because it's such a crazy story. But guy was really went to medical school. I think it was U of M, University of Michigan. Was just ripping people off left and right, using different aliases, murdering people for their life insurance money that he'd put on them, but also was killing people and then incinerating their bodies and then selling the skeletons to medical colleges for profit and things like that. But while doing all these things, and if anybody's interested, the book Devil in the White City tells both the history of the World's Fair simultaneously with his story. It's quite interesting. But he was selling different weird cures for alcoholism, and one of them that stuck out the most to me was rugs. So he's going to sell a rug for your living room that's going to cure your alcoholism.
But he was also murdering people.
Correct. And making a ton of money off of all his BS, and then not paying any of the creditors because it was all purchased, like all the supplies were purchased under aliases. So he had a glass company where he's like doing glass for buildings and like all these different things that he probably could have made a lot of money from if he just would do it legitimately, but he didn't. And
wow,
it's insane. But
I would love to hear his spiel though when it comes to some of these different, because that is one thing with the snake oil realm is I want to hear how they're trying to convince people.
And I mean, we have to remember that back in the day, like tonics were all the rage back in the late 1800s.
Even still though, like I would just love to hear it.
Yeah, I hear what they have to say. Have you ever heard of Lily the Pink?
Mm-mm.
I've heard of this, but I don't know what it is.
So this was another like cure-all tonic, and I actually wasn't familiar until again my parents playing Irish folk music for the kids, and the Irish Rovers do a song
that's right
about Lily the Pink, and how like she was supposedly curing people, but if anything, it was harming them or at least not helping at all. And so it just made a lot of money selling this tonic around like those probably late 18, early 1900s. And like you can understand why. Who wouldn't want a quick fix? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Think about, you could have a pill with perfect health, or you have to work out, eat well, and like try to minimize the unhealthy things you consume, like alcohol or whatever else. And it comes down to that effort versus reward to a certain extent. Like, I have to do all these things just to try to live a little bit longer, or I could take a pill. And like the Jetsons, really showed like, oh, you have your whole meal in this pill. There's nothing bad in there. That'd be cool to go about your day. But it is a little bit more than that. I had a professor who would talk about things, and he always say the reason that he'd say contingencies, but basically, the before conditioning, the behavior, and the outcome. The reason the behavior does not maintain, that the outcome doesn't produce an ongoing effect, is because either the size of the reinforcer is too small or its delivery is too improbable. And he'd say all the other factors they're not crucial. It's not that they don't play a role, but they're not crucial. And I kind of put him on the spot years later. I said, okay, well, if I had, $100 today or $102 in 3 weeks, that delay would make me choose the $100 today rather than $1,000 in a year or $100 now I'm thinking about it. So delay obviously plays a role. And he said, yeah, I agree with that. But on a day-to-day basis, in his interpretation, it's always that size and probability. And so he'd say the reason your diet doesn't work was each time you eat healthy, or I guess we'll say each time you eat unhealthy, the damage you're doing to your body is infinitesimally small, like so small that it's untraceable, untrackable. But over time, the accumulation of that unhealthy eating then creates health issues for you. Or that one cigarette, you smoke one cigarette, the harm you're doing to your body is so small that nobody would be able to measure it. But you smoke a pack a day for 20 years and everybody knows it's likely going to kill you at some point, down the line.
Yeah.
Or even working out. One time working out does very little, it has very little health benefit, but doing it 4 or 5 days a week for 30 years, and you're going to definitely see some major health benefits. And so it is because each outcome is so small, or the probability of that one time affecting your overall health is why these things don't control our behavior better. But you take a pill and that cures all, that and the amount of effort that you have to put into it would easily set you over the edge. Go ahead, Kyle, what you got?
Contingency management. So there's a lot of behavioral research on this approach of contingency management, where if you want to do a healthy behavior, but you're not experiencing those desired outcomes because of the incremental nature that it takes in order to get those outcomes. So, for example, feeling the health benefits of working out, or the delaying or offsetting or putting off completely the health harm caused by smoking, they throw in another consequence that's more immediate. So somebody on a contingency management thing intervention may get like a tokens toward like a lottery if they go so many days without a cigarette, or they get checked in and win a gift card for every day they go without cigarettes or something like that. So they're interjecting, trying to like offset that scale a little bit, tip the scale more towards healthy behavior, if not.
Yeah, I've had friends that did some of this research where like, all right, you're going to give us $20 and then each day you don't smoke, you get like a few of those dollars back. And so it's the avoidance of losing that money in the long term, or we'll pay you a couple dollars for each day you don't smoke. And it's strangely effective. And the reason I say strangely effective is because think of the idea that you're going to spend, I don't know how much here, like $7, $8 a pack of cigarettes, something like that nowadays, maybe even more. The amount that they're paying you is less than that you would be saving, yet for some reason being paid to not smoke affects your behavior more than spending money to smoke, which is interesting to me.
Yeah.
I will say though, if anybody's out there is trying to stop smoking, one of the studies that's a little bit different that was done in our field that was showed to be quite effective, I think it was Jim Carr that did it back when he was a professor at Western Michigan, was instead of trying to control the amount you smoke, you change the amount of nicotine in the cigarettes. So it becomes less reinforcing over time. And so you can smoke as many as you want, but every, few days you decrease the amount of nicotine. And so after a month or two, you haven't even noticed a major shift or change, but there's very little, if any, reinforcing value to smoke anymore because there's no more nicotine and you just stop naturally. So I know they used to have those step down cigarettes available. I don't know if they still do, but that I think is the easiest, least aversive way to actually help control that behavior.
You just said it, and I just looked it up because I was like curious, like where people are like that they smoke a pack, or I mean, for real big chain smokers, they smoke 2 packs a day. So I looked up the cost of average pack of cigarettes. New York, the average, or it looks like the cost averages out to $14.83.
Wow.
So
Whoa.
yeah, and
Per
they're the highest. And
man.
then lowest is Missouri, is $8.01 by the look of it.
Whoa.
And okay, it is by average. So I mean, imagine that's $15 times, or let's go 14 in New York. If you smoke a pack a day, that is $5,000 a year on cigs.
But somehow
Wow.
$20 a week might be enough to get you to stop, which is crazy. So
Yeah,
also, like with these tonics, you have to imagine, like they were saying they're curing cancer, anxiety, all these things. And so when there's not a clear fix, why aren't you going to try some of these? And now back in the day, they also usually had cocaine or morphine, so heroin basically in them. And so they felt real good. You felt like you were feeling much better because you were as high as a kite, and it was addictive. So you were stuck on it afterwards. But nowadays there's been like a huge push for, all right, marijuana cures cancer. And there's no scientific backing for that. It's much more likely that you were told that this is a terminal cancer, but what that really meant was there's a 1 in 10 million chance of entering remission and surviving. And those few people that actually do, survive, and whatever they've done, they're going to say, oh, this saved me, this cured me, when really they just, basically won the life lottery by surviving it. But at least with pot, like, okay, maybe you hurt your lungs over a long period of time, but at least you're not getting addicted to morphine or cocaine or something like that, like some of these
Right.
other cures are. So like, what is it really hurting if you're just smoking a little pot, comparatively?
yeah,
Well, and that is a good. You probably have it in your notes, but the idea of like false positives, then too. So, like, I start taking this substance that has no benefit or harm at all, but then I do happen to improve in some aspect, whether it was the variable that I wanted improvement in or not, and then the attribution of that change to the snake oil, and going off of anecdotal report, like, my hair grew when I did this. Like, well, yeah, you're also taking some other substance too that you didn't disclose during that, some stuff like that.
Well, or it's just like we see what we call superstitious behavior, which it is like superstitious behavior, but it's a little more specific in our field, where basically you do exhibit a behavior, an outcome occurs. They're not really related in one way or another, but
Mhm.
because reinforcement occurred, now you're going to continue this behavior even though it doesn't have any effect. And so you can see that. And if something you really believe worked, you're going to go above and beyond and really push for everyone. Um, and sometimes they do work. Like I remember what was like the fen back in the 90s, where it was
What's
basically
that?
like multiple different types of amphetamines that were used for weight loss. And wasn't I think it's what killed Anna Nicole Smith was like nobody
Uh,
tested it to see, oh, this is actually horrible for your heart, and it was causing people to have heart attacks and die left and right. But hey, amphetamines will help you lose weight if that's your goal.
well,
Um, I believe that was like, have you seen the movie Requiem for a Dream?
oh, it's been a while, but yeah.
But like what I'm thinking, that's like the sort of thing that the mom was on, who kind of entered a state of
Oh,
psychosis from all the diet pills and stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah, man.
in our field, I think what we think about the most is the snake oil, or in the area of snake oil or fad therapies, or like in the world of autism. It seemed like maybe it's because we don't work specifically in autism like I used to, but it seemed like it was every week we were hearing some new crazy thing that people were trying with their kids left and right. And sometimes they were missing the therapy that was actually helping to take them.
Yeah.
Uh, like the chelation therapy, like, oh, heavy metals is causing this. So we're going to go and, lock your kid in a room and hook them up for like transfusions for hours at a time to get the heavy metals out of their body
Hmm.
that nobody actually proved were in their body in the first place.
chelation hyperbaric chamber.
There's that
Which
story
we know
in Michigan. Yeah, there's people being charged with murder because they weren't doing the safety things they were supposed to do for the hyperbaric chambers.
those stories are horrific.
An
always
aside
remembered
for that one, though, I'll say
go ahead.
that same place also hired and maintained employment for someone who stole the credentials of a friend of mine for many years. And they were aware that these were stolen credentials and they were not actually a BCBA, but continued to let this person be a high-ranking official at their company until she finally went to prison. So,
Yeah. Gluten-free, casein-free diet. That's not really snake oil. It's kind of
it depends on what you're.
Yeah.
Depends if you have celiac. If you have celiac disease, then you need that.
Right.
But there's no evidence that effectively does anything with autism whatsoever.
And I know I haven't looked in a number of years, but I haven't seen anything.
The one that will always be craziest to me are the parasitic worms that they were giving to children to try to cure autism.
The parasitic worms?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember all the details, but you just gave your child parasites and it was going to cure the autism.
Yeah.
I want to hear what they're like. How are they convincing a family?
Well, a lot of it, and it depends on your definition of therapy, but a lot of it is you are making logical leaps that to someone that doesn't know, it may make sense. And like, who knows? The worms were probably just complete nonsense, but you'll try anything sort of thing.
Yeah.
And also, parasitic worms, there's been a few different times those were used. There's actually tapeworm diets that people would sell back in the day. Like, here's a little capsule with some tapeworm larva or whatever they start off as. You swallow it, and it's going to help you lose weight. It was a tapeworm cyst, it says. Help you lose weight because it would eat the food that you consume, so you're not actually getting all the nutrients. Now, it said frequent side effects also included seizures, dementia, and pooping out 30-foot tapeworms. But this was according to a website called Science Friday that this was a thing. And so, to be fair, though, if you're a fan of Futurama, Fry, eats some parasitic worms in like a eggs, 50-year-old egg salad sandwich or something like that. And those worms not only exercise his muscles from the inside, but help new neurological connections be made, and he become much smarter.
He became a genius.
If
they evolved really quickly, right? Too their society evolved. Yeah, I remember that one.
And so if I could get those worms, I'd probably take those in a second.
But to all this point, not to change the subject so dramatically, but it kind of preys on people's vulnerable states too. Like in those instances, it's like parents who want quick fixes because they're in a vulnerable state, or people who want to lose weight, or people who want to be healthy because they're afraid of dying or being sick. When you have somebody, science is not as attractive sometimes because science is like, this is what we know and this is what we don't know, versus some guys saying like, don't listen to that. Like, I've got the cure all right here.
It's why it's dangerous. I think I won't follow anything without some scientific basis. And obviously what's going on nowadays, you can't quite trust the Food and Drug Administration the way you used to be able to trust it. There's some things going on there, and they've never been perfect. Like, what our agencies here say to do versus what they say to do in Europe can be completely opposite. And you never know, like, all right, are unwashed eggs or washed eggs actually safer? Because from what I've read, in Europe, it's like against the law to sell washed eggs. And here, because without washing them, you can transmit salmonella, it's illegal to sell them without them being washed, at least maybe not at a roadside stand. I don't know how all those things work. So
you're talking about another product like that is the people that believe that non-pasteurized milk is better for you versus pasteurized. And I mean, there's areas or in states where it's illegal to sell it because of the risks of the bacteria that can be shed by these cows. And but some people swear by it, but it is a public safety concern, to put it shortly.
Yeah, it's what I'm getting at here is, like, if you don't have the FDA, then what do you have? Just a bunch of people selling snake oil. And so you need this sort of thing as a protection, but also some of it is a grain of salt. You have to just kind of trust and hope that they know what's best, because how else, like, you can find a study that'll support almost anything and then another one that'll contradict it. And you're like, all right, what do I believe? That's why you let the group of scientists really decide, unless they have a person who, says heroin and their brainworm help them be the person they are today. And then maybe if they're running, maybe we shouldn't trust what their people are saying. I don't know. What were you going to add to that?
Me? We haven't talked about essential oils yet, which is funny because it is literally oil.
Yeah.
But
they're
no,
essential.
they are essential. And I will, I mean, in full scientific endeavor here, there are some, just as I quickly look, there are some that are partially proven to do the things that they claim, but most human clinical trials have not shown any demonstration of proof to cure major medical conditions. Yeah, I don't know many. I should say, I know a lot of people who use them regularly.
Essential oils is a big one. Copper, everything. Like, you're gonna wear this copper sleeve and it's gonna get rid of your arthritis. Like,
I've heard that one.
Yeah, there's some, like, you rub your hands with this copper bar, and because I think the idea is that microorganisms that might be harmful can't live on copper. Therefore, if you rub your hands on copper, it'll kill them all. So use that instead of a bar of soap or something like that.
I'm gonna try that now.
The alkaline water, the alkaline water fad that's going on right now. You know what I mean?
What is that? I don't even know what that is. I bought some water that was alkaline water, and I didn't know that it was anything.
Truthfully, I mean, you don't know if the people selling it really believe it or if they're just following this fad and trying to make more money.
Right.
But the idea is that our bodies are either too acidic or too basic, and then by changing your pH, you're going to become more healthy. Of course, our bodies naturally regulate these things, and so no matter, like, think about if you're eating, a lemon, which I know not everybody does, but I do like to eat just a lemon sometimes.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Like an apple?
Like an orange. You peel it.
You're crazy, man.
Or like, what's that fruit stuff I like that's just covered? Yeah, Fruit Riot, that's just covered in like vitamin C or
dude, you're just destined
acid.
to just shred your digestive tract. You can't eat spicy food without throwing up blood anymore. So you turn to just absolutely ripping apart your guts with
Listen,
what kind of acid is it?
Citric acid.
Sorry.
Acid.
Yeah, no, I had a very sensitive tongue as a child. Like, I couldn't even use normal toothpaste because it burned my tongue so bad. You get like lines. I don't know if it's really a thing, but they called it geographic tongue because it looked like a road map with all the lines on my tongue.
Whoa.
And then I found I loved sour things, so I started like desensitizing it. And that's how I got to the point where I could eat spicy food as well. But then you're right. After so much of eating like the world's hottest peppers, now my body's like, nope, you can never do that again. Do never do that again.
I've had a similar, not that I thought it cured anything. I had a ghost pepper hot sauce once on a whim. I wasn't a big like spicy food fan. I was like, nope, I'm going to do it. And I put it on a pizza, and it was so painful that it was almost euphoric. And I remember thinking I remember feeling amazing when I was done with it. I don't know why. Maybe it was like the adrenaline surge, but I started like my spicy food kick after that. But it only lasted like a year, and then now I'm like, nope. It's whatever high I was chasing, it's long gone.
It was probably like the runner's high, except it's the opposite, where it goes away real quick. But like probably the same sort of thing. I don't know. I never got the euphoric feeling. What I like, when I started overdoing it, really was my old college roommate Shant. If he's out there listening, there's a shout out. He and I would, just to mess with each other, keep adding more and more like habaneros and ghost peppers to things to see how much we could add before the other person couldn't eat it anymore. And so like you become desensitized pretty quick. Like, all right, we just made some curry. There's 10 habaneros in there. Let's see how much each of us can eat, sort of thing. But
Man.
eventually that'll destroy your stomach. So
It's like the
I had a
nuclear noodles, the bulldog.
Yeah.
With how they
What's
have the
that?
normal spice. You never had bulldog?
Nuclear noodles?
Yeah, give it a try. So I bet you've seen it before. It's like a cartoon chicken is their logo on it. But as far as like an instant type ramen,
it's quite good, really.
yeah, like the actual
Done.
noodle itself is like a very good noodle.
And it's a bit warm.
Yes, but I would say if you said that you could handle some spicy food, so this is the one you'll want to go for. The carbonara or creamy carbonara is the best tasting one.
All right. I've never seen that in my life.
But with this, they have a normal spice one, they have a 2 spice, and I think they even go up to like a 4 times spice. But like their standard spice, one of my friends, and historically he likes spicy food. He only put half the packet on because it's pretty spicy. And like
Gotcha.
there's certain flavors, like even I'll put on the whole packet, and when I finish, I'm like, yeah, like my mouth it's warm, like it's very like I'll start sweating.
Right.
Yeah.
Right on.
What really did it one time, and this will tell you how extreme we had taken it, is friends over for a cookout. I am growing some of the world's hottest peppers, like Carolina Reapers, things like that, in the garden. And we start trying the different hot sauces that I either made or had in the house after drinking a little bit. And then start actually like, all right, we're going to cut up pieces of these peppers and just try to eat them straight and see if we can handle it. And then the next morning, I vomited some blood and thought I was dying and decided that was probably enough of that. So
time to be done.
And then there's Taylor
over the toilet where you're like, that is not good.
It was a lot of blood. And I immediately was like, I have to go to the hospital because my parents both had bleeding ulcers when I was a child.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm dying. And there's Taylor like, why you mean go to the hospital because you threw up? This is ridiculous. So I'm like, no, I'm dying. We got to go now. And it was fine. They said don't eat so much hot stuff while drinking beer. But still, that's the story of how I no longer eat extremely spicy things. So
one fad that I want to talk about.
Hold on. Keep it on because we never finished the alkaline water here. Like, where this all started from was
Brad, raise your hand. Raise your hand, and then you can go next.
Just that your body naturally gets your pH where it's supposed to be, and so it's unnecessary to drink water that's going to change your pH level. That's all. All right.
Now you really cut me off to say that.
Now you make that was
it was kind of like anticlimactic.
Yes, but I had to finish the thought that we started 20 minutes ago.
Wait, so that would be like smart water, right?
I don't think so. I think maybe smart water. I think it's other ones that are actually made to change your pH levels.
Oh, okay.
Brad. Yes, Brad.
My turn.
Hey, Brad, do you have something to say?
To take it to the vet world, and so that this even goes, well, I guess nowadays that a lot of families do truly feel or like view their animals as another child to them. And so then of course they're going to get fads as well. One, actually, I'll go on is
the fur babies.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
Grain-free diets, and there's like all the fad about grains being bad for animals, which I'll be honest, I've never actually it's just one of those things you hear about, and people get really on their high horse about feeding grain-free, and I don't even really know their reasoning for it, but I do know that grain-free diets in some studies has been linked to a cardiac condition that is very scary in dogs. And so I think it's so silly because the pros of not feeding it are not, even the potential pros are not good and compared to the researched cons.
So go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. What's your question, sir?
It wasn't a question. I'm just saying I have read up on this a little bit because when I got my dog 13 years ago now, I'm like, all right, what do I get? And the idea was, well, back when they were wolves, they didn't eat grain. So like, why would we feed them grain now? It's not good for them.
Wow.
But they're not quite the same animal that they were 2,000, 10,000 years ago when they were eating.
2-inch legs and scrunchy noses now.
Yeah. Well, now actually, this is gonna kind of. I can get into. Obviously, I hear a lot of things from owners that really miss my muffins.
Yeah, well, what? Just for first, be careful what you say, because who knows if one of them happens to listen to this and be like, "Well, I'm never going to him again." But
That's okay.
Go ahead.
But they misses your muffins. Okay,
Miffs. Miffed.
Oh, miffs.
He's miffed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miffs.
One is actually. Oh crap! Now I forgot what it was. Oh no! Oh, raw food diets blow my mind. Blow my mind.
Raw food.
Yeah.
Raw food.
Yeah. When you'll watch like videos and it's like, oh, what I have to prepare for my dog every single day, and it's like a raw ostrich egg, a raw beef liver, and raw chicken thigh, all these anchovies, these random things. I'm like, yeah, it's very primal, but one, is this balanced? Is this a balanced diet? No. Two, the potential for foodborne illnesses in these uncooked items is high. And three, like it's just not like it's not a proper diet.
The vet that we went to before Dr. Mammo finished school and all that said, like, listen, the big brands that sell the most, like, they're not trying to get sued. So usually they're giving you what your dog needs the best they can. And also, like, we are so down the evolutionary lines at this point that none of the things that they needed historically are what they usually need. They're not even out hunting and running around. They're sitting around in your living room half the time. So it's not even the same.
Yeah.
life.
Well, and even dogs now they possess the enzyme amylase, which is used to break down carbohydrates. So in theory, your dog could process things like a spaghetti noodle just fine.
Yeah.
But hell, there's people that would say that is not good.
Well, I mean,
oh no.
I may have said it on here before. I know Dr. Miami's familiar. Like, our one dog, 9 SOS pads one time when I was trying to clean up a house when I was selling it. Hand warmers that were still hot. I mean, the things this dog puts down and is like survived is just shocking. So
my dog's eaten entire bag of chocolate chips. We came home to entire bag of chocolate chips devoured, and I induced vomiting, which I learned how to do with hydrogen peroxide. No, don't do that. Well, I did it.
That's a strong
What
shake in
would
the
you
head
say?
for people listening, not watching.
What would you say, Brad?
Go and get an injection. Not you. Yeah, you go get this injection, and then by the cosmic
Then when you
energy,
vomit,
your
the dog will vomit from
because it just
and
feels so rattled by what you just did.
I will say, I pulled a small shot of hydrogen peroxide out. She smelled it and threw up. She didn't even drink it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it has, like, if it goes down their trachea and causes like aspiration pneumonia, essentially.
Yeah. Activated charcoal. Let's go with activated charcoal. I don't know.
Okay, the last one that I was gonna, and then this was actually the one that made me, like, is the fad.
Made
and
you the man
see
you
it
are
all
today.
the time, and I hope I don't get sued now by this small company. So we've all seen those dogs that have just horrendous skin. They itch like crazy.
Yeah,
and
we have one.
Yes, they destroy their skin, and like an underlying thing of that is there's itch, but then there's also, with a lot of these, with how severe they get, and you can literally see pustules. So pus is like, that is infectious material, like dead, like white blood cells attacking something, most commonly bacteria. So you'll see that with a lot of these skin dogs. But then I see this thing on social media. It's a multivitamin called, I'm not going to say what it is. It's a multivitamin.
Yeah, don't get sued.
Yeah. It's a multivitamin that says it cleared the years of itch that these dogs possess, and it shows the before and after pictures. And like the before is 100% like there is a raging skin infection going on. And I'm like, all right, I don't know much in this world, but you can't cure an infection with like a vitamin and mineral alone. You need antibiotics. You need that. So it's that little fad that, and people will tell me all the time that their dogs that they take it, and I'm like, I think you're wasting your money.
Yeah.
On snake oil. See what you did there?
Yeah. Even most exercise supplements though, like just don't have any thing backing them up. Like it seems like every 10 years, like some huge, like, oh, take this supplement, you'll get so much bigger and stronger. And like, creatine has some support, but other than that, like I was researching it again lately, like 10 years, 15 years later. And I'm like, all the stuff they used to tell us to take is just gone now. None of it is on the
You
market.
just gotta go to older, reliable anabolic steroids.
Yeah. No. Are you familiar with mangosteen juice? It was a huge back in the early 2000s. Like even the doctors that I like knew were pushing it as a miracle cure. Mangosteen. It's mango
Mangosteen.
And then STEEN.
I thought you were saying mango steam.
No, and it was Zango was like the pyramid scheme, the mid-level marketing. And that's really what you like. Look, I'm sure there are some MLMs out there that actually have decent products, but it also, like, every time you have some BS fad product, it's usually in a pyramid scheme. So I almost can't buy or trust anything, even if maybe it is legit that has sold that way. But mangosteen, like they were talking about, oh, you had this issue, you drink some, cancer was cured. They even said if you had like 3rd-degree burns, you could rub it on your skin and it would heal magically. And it was just like fruit juice with a lot of antioxidants. But so it wasn't bad for you, but it was not curing all these magical things that everybody said it was.
Putting it on the skin makes me think of one of the old torture ways to like kill somebody, where you cover them in honey and like bind their arms and legs together and put them out on a boat, and then they will slowly die from all the worms or the flies that come to them. So I'm imagining the burn, like the fresh tissue.
Yeah.
Just put this sweet like juice on it essentially, and it's cured. The maggots have eaten away at the burn.
Yeah.
And then you have no arm or hand left.
All right. I think I have one last high note to end on here, but any other good examples? Kyle, did you have any that you wanted to?
No, the essential oils was the big one for me.
Yeah.
But
this what I knew and had forgotten and then saw again, and I'm like, yeah, I can't stop without mentioning that vibrators were designed by doctors to cure hysteria in the 1800s.
Right. Yes.
And the hysteria itself was quackery, because like a lot of times just speaking up for your rights or disagreeing with your husband was enough to get a woman diagnosed with hysteria. But the whole idea that vibrators exist was to cure that hysteria that these housewives had because their husband didn't like the things they were saying, which, as horrible as that whole thing was, it's still better than, the Salem witch trials where like, oh, you disagree with your husband, he doesn't like you anymore, and now you're a witch and getting burned.
Right.
So I guess everything has its continuum, I guess.
The lesser of two
evils seems like a good trade-off.
Yeah. It's like, got some hysteria over here. So come on. So yeah, interesting, but these are the type of things that, like, why I shake my head and almost get unnecessarily frustrated when I hear about some of the things people do and try, or try to tell me to try. I'm like, just show me some evidence, show me some proof, and not just like one person said this, but clinical trials, something like that. Because I don't know. I guess you could say I'm jaded, but I don't trust anything unless there's some evidence at this point. I just can't even give it a shot. So
critical thinking is on a decline, and quack interventions are on the rise. So we got an interesting couple decades ahead of us, I think.
And the FDA is being run by a brainworm. So there you go. I mean,
I will be shocked if we're still doing this 20 years down the road, but if we magically are, we got to come back to this one. And then if crystals make their way into the world, we have to come out and we got to acknowledge, say, we were wrong.
We were,
Yeah.
and we take accountability for
If
that.
they put our brain into a computer and 10,000 years from now, we do a follow-up episode, like crystals were right. Damn it.
They
should
actually
have been
become the savior of humanity.
should have
I
been
still have a-
crystalling.
The
I
power
still have a
grid-
body if I just use those crystals.
Yeah.
We'll take
anything
us
to
home,
add?
Doc.
Any thoughts? Nothing? You're all useless?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't really think.
Just, look towards the positive. At least the pot might make you feel a little better and won't make you ill compared to the tonics of yesteryear. Maybe Lily the Pink, at least there's a good or interesting song made out of it, even if the tonic itself was worthless. And just be careful out there looking towards the good, because you never know, and your brainworms might make you so smart you begin to question your existence altogether and you don't know what's real anymore, and then poof, you're gone. So just be careful out there.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Words of wisdom.